Yes, guys, welcome back to another show. How's everyone doing? I hope you're all doing well, guys. Today we are talking Alexis Mac Allister to Liverpool. It's a deal that looks like it might happen. We're also going to be talking about Liverpool versus Brentford. And obviously we're going to talk about James Milner. Looks like he's leaving for Brighton. But big up to everyone in the chat. I hope you're all doing well. First things first, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button. As soon as you come into the channel, guys, into the video, hit that like button, guys. All us YouTube creators, we appreciate everyone hitting that like button. It helps the channel grow, helps the algorithm, all that good stuff. So smash that like button as soon as you come in, guys. We've got 41 people in here right now. That's our 40 likes at least. So everyone go and press that fun button if you've not pressed it already. Subscribe if you're new. All the good stuff. Sub. Share. Like. All that good stuff, guys. Big up to everyone in the house. I hope you're all doing well. Big up Sean with the super chat. Big up Jamie. Big up Jen. And big up the chat. Big up Sean. Big up to you, man. Thank you very much for the super. I do appreciate it. Guys, what we're going to do straight off, we're going to play Jurgen Klopp's press conference. We'll get big up Nita. New kit smart. We'll talk about the new kit in a bit as well. Big up Crypto Nation house. Big up Pac-Man. We'll talk about Pac-Man, but I don't think it's going to happen, mate. I think it's almost done. I'm actually quite confident with this deal. I shouldn't say that, but I think I am. Right, let's do the press conference, guys. Let's do this press conference. All right, I haven't heard it yet. I've not heard it yet, so we're going to listen to it together. I don't know if you guys heard it yet, but let's do this. Let's do this right now. Let's get the volume up on this motherfucker. Right, why can't I hear it? Why can't I hear it? Can anyone else hear it? Why can't I hear it? Oh, I hate it when this happens. Right. For some reason, I can't hear it right now. Let me just come back to it 1 second, guys. I hate it when that happens. Hang on. There is like zero volume. Zero volume. Guys, can you hear me? Let me hear if I can hear myself. Yeah, no, I can hear myself back. Oh, I hate it when this happens. I have everything set up and then it ballses up. Hang on, let's try this one. See if this one's any better. 1 second, guys. I don't know why it weren't working. Let's see if this one's any better. Yeah, there we go. Right. Right, we're back. Sorry about that. I don't know why that one didn't work, but this one does, so we'll do this one. Right, there we go.
Before kick-off, what are your thoughts on marking the occasion in that way?
The club's position is my position. It was clear, and besides that, I said a couple of times, this is definitely a subject which I cannot really have a proper opinion about it, because I'm from Germany. We don't have a king or queen or these kind of things. I'm 55 years old, have really no experience with that. Watching from the outside, it's a nice thing to watch when all the weddings are massive things in Germany, but nobody really knows. It's like watching a movie or in a newspaper, because we don't feel that. So that's it pretty much. I'm pretty sure a lot of people in this country will enjoy the coronation. Some will maybe not really be interested, and some will not like it. That's it. And that's over the whole country. And I think that's all I can say about it. And the rest is my position as the club's position.
You just check a couple of things off the pitch as well, because we've heard that James Milner could be leaving in the summer and going to Brighton. We've also heard that maybe Alexis Mac Allister is a target to come here. So
we start now talking about this in press. So yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So is there anything you can tell us about the situation?
No, but maybe I can say that I had over the years, in the last few months, really good conversations with him. He knows how highly I value him. He's an incredible part of this team, and I would have loved to work together with him even longer. What exactly the outcome will be of his decisions, or of his decision, I think at one point, and Millie will say that. I'm not sure that happened already or not. I'm not really aware of that, but nothing else to say from me, but that nothing will change. I said a couple of times, nothing what happened the last 7.5 years would have happened, or the positive things would have happened without James Milner. And so that's all about that, and all other things transfer-wise, you are the first who will be informed if something will happen. But before that, not really anything to say about it.
You've been very consistent over the last few weeks in saying that you're not looking at the top four. Does that change in any way when you see what happened in the game again between Brighton and Manchester United? Albeit, obviously, Brighton have those 2 games in hand on you, so feasibly, if they win, then they can catch you.
Exactly. No, not really. Said it before. Other teams are in much better positions. As long as they win football games, we have no chance, and we have to keep teams behind us, which not all of them. We can do it by our own. Like you say, if Brighton wins all their games from now until the end of the season, and how they played last night, that's possible, because again, incredible performance. To be honest, a really, really good football game. No, that didn't change. I don't know exactly. We have 59. 58, 59, yeah, 59. So United has 63. So we can get 71 maximum. United needs for that 8 points in 5 from 15. I think they will do that, to be honest. So, they win 3 games of the rest, and that's it for us. So it's not about that. We have enough to do with ourselves and these kinds of things. We have to be tomorrow, Brentford. Oh my God, it's such a difficult game to play. You can control the whole game theoretically, not that that's already written in stone, but you could, and one set piece can kill you, and they are really good in counter-attacking. That's such a good setup and all these kind of things. The throw-ins are great, the corners are great, the free kicks are great, the players are great, the manager is fantastic. So that's a really difficult game, and how could I think of anything else besides that? And that's why, no, we will not change the approach.
On that note then, Jurgen, the message is quite a simple one, that all you can do is take care of your own business.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Pressure on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not about if our performances or the results put pressure on our teams. That's not in our hands as well. I said it now. The way they played over the year, the first 4 teams, nobody looks like losing from now on more games than they win. Never did that in the whole season. Why should they do it now? No, exactly. It's for us finishing the season as high as somehow possible. And that was the plan since we start winning. It was before that as well, but it didn't look that bright, to be honest. Now that could mean we could be 5th, which is not given yet. 6th is not given, so they're all so good. Aston Villa, I'm not 100% sure who else. Tottenham, of course. Brighton, definitely, and maybe Brentford as well. I don't know exactly the numbers, but they all are fighting for that, and so do we, and that's all.
On your own team, obviously, great upturn in performances and results in recent weeks. I wonder how different do you feel the team is now in its style, the way it plays, compared to the one that obviously suffered disappointment?
Yeah, we needed. If you want kind of a fresh start somehow, we needed a moment where we feel that this is going now in the right direction. I said it before. That was the second half against Arsenal. A very important day for us. So because that day, when you're 2-0 down early in the game, everything can happen. Or anything. It's like Arsenal can score the 3rd, the 4th, bam, and you stand at home and lose at Anfield to Arsenal 4-5-0. That would have been probably the lowest point for a long, long time. But we turned it around. We maybe should have won the game in the second half. That's not important. It would be helpful now if we had the 2 points. But the performance was good enough. And that was for us really like, okay, from here we can go. We changed before the game a little bit, and in the game we realized, okay, that works out. And from that on,
Yeah, guys, is that a new training top that Klopp's wearing as well? Because I know the new kit got launched today. Is that a new training top that Klopp's wearing as well? Because I like that. I don't know if I've seen that before. Is that new as well? Let me know in the chat if you know if that's new what Klopp's wearing there. Interesting note on the McAllister one. He did not want to talk about the McAllister transfer at all. That usually tells me that something's happening because Klopp would usually say something else. But to say, like, to completely dismiss it straight off the bat, that usually tells me something's happening and he can't say anything. So I think that's a positive, personally. I think that's a positive. Also, in the chat, let me know what you think of Alex McAllister. Is he a good signing for Liverpool? Give me a thumbs up in the chat, thumbs down if you don't like him. Let me know.
Work with that. It is like a breath of fresh air. It's for me nicer. Coaching is different. Can talk about slightly different stuff. For the boys buy really into it, and our defending got better. I know we still concede chances, but things like this don't, and that will always happen, by the way, in the Premier League. But that things don't change overnight. But in possession, we're much more controlled than we were before. It looks like we have a common idea again. We had always a common idea. I just couldn't see it on the pitch very often. And so it's a good moment with difficult games, with good opponents, outstanding opponents like tomorrow. But from our point of view, obviously, it's much more enjoyable in the moment than it was before.
And just finally, in terms of team news, how are you shaping up? It looks like you've got a welcome selection dilemma up front now with fit strikers.
Not really, to be honest. It's like Diogo has his back issue, the bruised rib, which he could train yesterday, but he didn't do a lot, to be honest. He was not really in danger yesterday for any kind of contact or stuff like this. And so we have to see there. Bobby is not yet in team training. We hope that he can start next week with team training. Now we have obviously Thiago. Will have a surgery and is out for the rest of the season. And so I wouldn't say I have a lineup dilemma. You mean up front, but not really have. Henlo, we have to see. He had yesterday's scan, didn't get the results yet. It will not be a big thing, but maybe it's enough to rule him out for tomorrow. I don't know that yet. So I can't see any kind of lineup dilemmas, to be honest. Anyway, don't understand that word 100%. When they're all fit, then you just can make the choice. And that's much more, fits much better than when you don't have any.
Thank you.
Juliet.
Really, did you just say Thiago out of the season's had surgery?
Yeah. No, I didn't have yesterday. When I think.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just wondering, is there an update on the FA charge?
No. I got the charge. I think we had to
Wait for the
exactly. Yeah, no, exactly. We had to respond what we did, and now we wait. Nothing new.
James.
Jurgen, how much of the comment runs down to the sort of amended formation that we're playing with, and what are your thoughts about continuing with it in the long term?
That we have to, after such a long time, that changing aspects of our game. We always did, by the way. In 7 years, we always did, and we reached a situation where it worked out extremely well, where we were in all competitions, super competitive, caused each team massive problems with the way we set it up, with the way we played. That all worked out really well. This season didn't. It didn't, for different reasons. I've said, you mentioned a couple of times. Front line, new setup, new players in, some really new, some kind of new. And if you want to play a specific way, all the little pieces have to work together. They must really click in between. And that's where it started. Then midfield was too far away. Last line was then finally too high or too deep, whatever, in specific moments. And that's all of a sudden, I couldn't recognize anymore who we are. And it's now really difficult to change that when you play every 3 days. So you go through things like that. And that was a moment now a few weeks ago when we said, okay, we have nothing to lose anymore. If that's not a situation where you can change it in the season, not waiting until the preseason, then you will not find a better moment anymore. So that means, and that feels good. It feels really good for us. So new little things with the same aspects, how we want to defend, how we, the ball orientation is much more in focus again. The counter press is again a law and not a proposal, and these kind of things. So we mixed a few new ideas with the main ideas. And that's obviously the way we want to do it. That does nothing to do with any kind of system, to be honest. It's rather a little bit about, the way we play, really.
And Naby, is he available?
No.
Jurgen.
Hi.
Just on the forward line, the versatility you now have, Darwin off the left, then through the middle, Cody through the middle, and then off the left. Does that make you a slightly different prospect?
Yeah, Jota through the middle or the left, possible. Yeah. And what does it mean? What does it mean?
I mean, for the first part of the success of the club, it was always Sadio left, Fabinho in the middle, Mo on the right, and it very rarely changed. But now you've got players who can interchange swap positions.
Yeah, we had that with Divock, and he played in the center or came from the left. So that's you need that. You need versatility, definitely, and that's what we have. That's why we signed these players, because they can play different positions. Diogo played on the right wing, really good. Harvey came on now on the right wing, which is possible absolutely as well. So we have options. Yeah, that's true. But it was the idea when we signed the players that players can only play one position. That gives you then really a struggle. And if somebody's injured, then you don't have a replacement on that position. So we can react, I would say, in a good way.
James.
Yeah, well, just on Thiago, is that the same issue that he was recently out for a couple of months with? Was it the hip again?
Yeah.
Following the surgery, would you expect him to be fit for pre-season?
Yeah. That's why we do it now.
I think we got the embargo. Everything embargo until 10:35.
So there we have it, guys. There we have it. Good press conference this time from Jurgen. Nothing too much to write home about there. The Alexis Mac Allister news. Interesting the way he doesn't want to talk about it and comment on it. Probably tells me that the Alexis Mac Allister transfer is as good as done. Obviously, Thiago being out injured, ready, back for pre-season. That's why they did the surgery now, which tells me that Thiago's going nowhere next season. Obviously, we've been talking. There's been chat about maybe Thiago leaving Liverpool. This summer. There's been a lot of interest from Barcelona. Xavi at Barcelona really wants to bring Thiago home. All this sort of stuff, and so Klopp's talking about they decided to do the surgery now, so he's back for pre-season. Then that probably tells me they think there's a lot left in Thiago and he's not going nowhere. So that's decent news as well. The McAllister stuff, because he didn't want to be brought up on it, he totally put it. He totally put it to the side. Didn't want to talk about it. So quickly said, let's carry like let's not talk about it. So the way Klopp spoke like that makes me feel like something's definitely happening now. I mean, there's too much online at the moment. I mean, Fabrizio Romano's basically saying it looks like it's a done deal. It's only a matter of time. Man City and Man United were interested in him, but Liverpool just got in there ahead of everybody. Once you get ahead of everybody, Man United don't want to do a... Apparently, Man United don't want to go with Liverpool and try and sign a McAllister because they don't want to lose a third player in a row to Liverpool. It'll be bad PR for Man United. Remember, they tried to get Gakpo. He chose Liverpool. They tried to get Darwin Núñez. He chose Liverpool. And if they don't want to go into a battle with Liverpool over McAllister, especially how advanced McAllister is in transfer negotiations with Liverpool right now. And it looks like McAllister wants to join the Reds. So, United don't want to lose a third player to Liverpool. PR-wise, that would be a disaster for them. So, that's why they're not interested. Man City, I've always said this. I think Man City are going to try and get Declan Rice. I think Declan Rice suits Man City to a T. I really think Declan Rice suits Man City, man. I've said this for a while now. Declan Rice can do that box-to-box midfield work. I think he'd be perfect for them. He's not a DM. For me, he's a box-to-box midfielder. And Declan Rice is an extremely good player as well. And I think Declan Rice in Man City's midfield alongside Rodri would be a hell of a midfield. Declan Rice, Rodri, and De Bruyne would be a heck of a midfield three. Let's put it that way. That'd be a heck of a midfield three. As for McAllister suiting City, I think, maybe. I don't know what it is. I think McAllister really suits Liverpool. That high counter press that he plays at Brighton, that's what Liverpool play. Liverpool are looking for a bit more quality on the ball now as well, and that's what McAllister can give Liverpool. I think McAllister will be doing bits. Before we move on with other stuff, guys, I'll talk about some more transfers in a minute. I know a lot of you want to talk about the... a lot of you guys want to talk about the kit. Right, let's talk about it then. There you go. Let's talk about it. And a lot of you guys want to talk about the kit, so I'll put it on full screen. So if you've not seen it yet, this is the little video Liverpool put up regarding the brand new kit. Let me start from the beginning for you. I will say though, I better mute that because I'll get copyrighted. There you go. I don't want to get copyrighted. There you go. I love the fact, guys. Do you know what I like? They got Ian Callaghan in there. Liverpool's all-time record holder, appearance holder, Ian Callaghan. They got Ian Callaghan in the video. If you don't know who Ian Callaghan is, he's the old guy there. There you go. There he is. There he is. There he is. Look at him. Got Ian Callaghan in the photo. I like that. It's a touch. It's a touch. I got him in the video. Yeah, look at the boys. Look at the girls there and the women's team. It's a nice kit. It's 1970 Shankly Liverpool kit, guys. Shame I can't play the music. So it's actually a tune. But I'll get copyrighted. There he is, Ian Callaghan again. Legend. There it is, guys. Let me know what you think about the new kit. Let me know what you think about the new kit, guys. Ali, big up to Ali. It's been a while, my man. Hope you're doing well, Ali. This is one of the best night kits as produced. Yeah, like Nike hasn't really done a great home Liverpool kit yet. Their third kits and away kits have been nice. Obviously, that away kit is lovely. But apart from that, they haven't done many great kits, Nike, for Liverpool so far. I've always said I prefer the New Balance kits, like the one I got hanging up there. I love that New Balance kit. But yeah, this is like a 1970s Shankly sort of Liverpool kit, ain't it? Oh, I like it. I like it. The price range, obviously, kits are going up by £5, don't they? The price range is the price range, man. It's just mad. You know, because it's got a flaming little tick on it. But some little kid made that for like £3. You know what I mean? And we're going to have to pay 75 quid for it. Because it's got a bloody little tick on it. You're having a laugh. Or a check mark if you're American. But yeah. Little tick on it. And we have to pay $75 for it. You're having a laugh. That's why DHgate exists, guys. I'm telling you right now, if you want the kit, go to DHgate. Get your kit for like 30 quid. Good knockoff quality. 140 quid now for names too. I'm thankfully old enough now that I can't have a name on the back of my shirt because I'm 41 years old. I can't be standing around with my name and number on the back of a Liverpool shirt. That would just be embarrassing. Not walking down the street with my name on the back. Well, nah, I'm all right. I'm all right. So I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that. 150 for the match kit. I'm not. I'll probably get the kit. I know a lot of people. There's some outrage online. Yes, there's outrage online. Shock horror. But there is some outrage online at the moment from the FSG outers. They're a bit peed off today because they're upset with people that are liking the new kit and talking about buying the new kit because it's got a lot of attraction today. Is this video on Twitter that Liverpool put out about the new kit launch? And people, the FSG outers are like, why are you all interested in this new kit? Why are you buying the merchandise? Why are you buying the merchandise? You know, just let people be, man. Just let people be. At the end of the day, if people want to buy the kit, just let them buy the kit. You know what I'm saying? You know, at the end of the day, I know people get annoyed with it, yeah? And it goes into FSG's pocket, which isn't true. It goes into the club's pocket, right? But if you want our club to keep making profits and making commercial revenues, then we need people to buy the kits. I know people are thinking, right, if we don't, no one buys any merchandise, no one buys any kits, we won't make no profits, which will make FSG go away. But at the same time, that will make our club worse financially. So do you want to make our club worse financially just for the sake of getting rid of some people? It might take us years and years and years and years and years to come back from such a financial mess. So, yeah. If people want to buy it, go and buy it. I ain't telling people what to do, man. I ain't telling people what to do. You want to buy it, buy it. I don't give a crap, to be fair. I don't give a cack. Go and buy that kit if you like it, guys. If you got the money and you want to buy it, go and spoil yourself. Go and buy the kit. I like it. It's Nike's best home kit they've done in a while. If that... Yeah, exactly. It's a false truth. No, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, everything goes up. Sky TV's going up. That's why people are getting IPTV these days because they can't afford it. Look, let's face it, these people take the mick out of us as football fans. Like, you're a Liverpool fan. Most of us are Liverpool fans watching right now. You probably pay like 100 quid a month for your Sky TV. Then you pay an extra 20 quid a month for BT Sport. Then you probably pay 10 quid a month for your Amazon Prime, yeah? And how many times is Liverpool actually live on all them things that you pay monthly for? You know, how many times is Liverpool actually live? Like 15 games a season, 20 games a season, 25 games a season? Liverpool are live on the telly, but you're paying out like almost £200 a month for all the channels and Amazon Primes and all this sort of stuff just to watch your beloved team on telly. It's mad. Yeah, it's just a madness. It has to stop, man. It has to stop. It has to stop, man. It's ridiculous. I think Ali was asking me what I think about yeah. But it's cheaper. But that's why everyone's going into it, my friend, because of the cost of Sky and all that sort of stuff. And so McAllister, I think Ali asked me what I think of McAllister. So I think he's a great player. I really do. I think I watch him play and I'm like, I watched him yesterday. I watched the Man United Brighton game yesterday and I watched him Brighton play and I'm watching McAllister in midfield. I'm like sitting there and thinking, Jesus Christ, he is such a good player. He was the best midfielder on the pitch yesterday for both teams. You know, Man United and Brighton. McAllister was the best player on the pitch in midfield. He was tremendous. He was tremendous. I thought he was fantastic yesterday. Really, really good. Controls the tempo of the game. He's so good on the ball. He's so good off the ball. He's perfect for us. You know, he's the way he plays off the ball, the way the way he's able to win the ball back. He cuts out the passing lanes. He presses really well in midfield. He's good being pressed as well. He's hard to press him down. He's good at protecting the ball. He's got an excellent pass on him. He's got composure. I mean, as we saw with that 98th minute penalty to win the game yesterday, he's composed as hell, man. Top talent. There's a lot of people thinking someone like a McAllister won't help us get back to winning Premier Leagues. That's mental. McAllister's a quality player, guys. He's a quality player. Now, if I was Liverpool, I'd be going to Brighton and just offering them the world for Caicedo and McAllister at the same time. Literally, if I was Liverpool, that's what I would do. I would just buy 2 midfielders this summer, make Trent my third midfielder, and just do everything in my power to buy Caicedo and McAllister at the same time. A double swoop. Like 150 million. There you go. 150 million to Brighton. We have Caicedo and McAllister. That's what I think Liverpool should be doing. Forget about your Gartes and stuff like that and your Kones and your Turams. Go and get these ready-made ballers for our midfield right now. Yeah? We ain't got no time to bed anyone in next season. Liverpool need to hit the ground running from the first game of the season. Go and get Caicedo and go and get McAllister in straight away. Go and get him straight away. Put Trent in midfield. That's your third midfielder. You got Stefan, who's going to have a whole full season next year. He's going to be like a new midfielder. That's 4 right there. That's 4 fresh young midfielders, yeah? Stefan, Trent, McAllister, Caicedo. There's your 4 fresh midfielders, yeah? Young, hungry, great on the ball. Go for it. Go 150 mil, 160 million. Whatever Bellingham was going to cost, just go and pay for it for both of them because Liverpool are probably going to spend around that kind of money. Liverpool are looking at spending around 150 million in the summer on their midfielders that they want to bring in. So if Brighton accept a deal of 150 million for both Caicedo and McAllister, then I think that's worth it, man. What's that? 70 million each, 75 million each. That's 75 million pound each, if my maths are correct, for both of them. So 75 million for McAllister, 75 million for Caicedo, 150 million. Job done. Brighton accept that all day long. Yeah? Just go and get it done. Just go and get it done. Caicedo is so good. So good. I watched him play right back against Brighton yesterday, and he hardly put a foot wrong. Well, if Caicedo's 100 million, then 150 million should still get both of them, in my opinion. I mean, there's deals to be made there. Liverpool need to hit the ground running next season, guys. I can't tell you this enough. You know, I'm worried that we go and buy a Thuram or we go buy an Agate, and Klopp takes them a while to bed them in. Remember Fabinho? We got Fabinho from Monaco. Fabinho was a quality player at Monaco. Everyone was talking about Fabinho. I remember Man City and Man United fans were like, oh, why didn't we go for Fabinho? He's a quality player. And then he took about 4 months to bed into our team. You know, it took a while to bed in. And we haven't got that time next season. So Thuram and all that might be excellent footballers. Yeah, they might be really good footballers. Kone, they might be excellent footballers. But will they bed into the Premier League straight away? Because we need to hit the ground running. And for me, that is probably why we're going to buy players from the Premier League this season. So for me, I would just go and get them two, man. I would just go and get them two. I agree with what people were saying, like Diaz worked straight away and Cody Gakpo worked straight away. But the forwards, I think it's a little bit different with the forwards. But Diaz ain't worked straight away. See, there's another one. You know, Darwin didn't work straight away. He needs time to bed in and find his feet. So what if we get a midfielder? We could end up going for an Agate, and Agate is like a Gakpo. He just fits straight away, right? He just fits straight away. And then we try and go and get, I don't know, a Thuram. But he's like a Darwin Núñez. He doesn't really fit. And we're a bit stuck. Do you know what I mean? So maybe that's why we're looking Premier League players. But Caicedo, is there many better DMs in world football at this moment in time than Caicedo? You know, is there many better? Is there many better than Caicedo in world football right now? And he's Premier League proven. We know Caicedo can do it in the Premier League. We know Caicedo can do it in the Premier League. So there ain't many better around. Ugate's a baller, don't get me wrong, but I know what Caicedo can do, you know, in the Premier League. Do you know what I'm saying? That's where I'm coming from. Ugarte might be a fantastic footballer, yeah? But I know from watching the Premier League that Caicedo already knows how to handle the Premier League, and he looks immense. Do you know what I mean? So maybe we should just think about going bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. And just get them players in. It's an interesting one. I think McAllister would just do bits at Liverpool, though. I think McAllister's such a sound buy. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that this all goes according to plan. Liverpool don't mess this up. I do think that if McAllister doesn't join Liverpool, it's all because of Liverpool Football Club messing up the transfer at the end of the day. It's as simple as that. I think this transfer is easy to do by all the journalists. Every journalist has come out. When Paul Joyce comes out and says Liverpool to McAllister is very, very strongly done, nearly done, then I think we can all sort of like, only Liverpool can mess it up now, really. That's the only worry I got. Only we as a club can literally mess it up now. It looks like it's apparently they've agreed personal terms and all that's fine. It's just putting in the transfer deal now. So I think McAllister wants us. I think we want McAllister. I think it's a good match. I think it's Agent Lallana there says came out. Yeah, that's true. So there's some other bits and pieces going around at the moment online as well. Where is it? I saw Anthony's DM. I'll read that in a minute, Anthony. Where was I? So there's this as well. Let me share this with you guys. Where was it? Let me share this with you guys, yeah. I'll share this with you. So this could be an important bit. There you go. So Liverpool, apparently, according to this guy, the President 75, Liverpool have already begun talks with Sporting for defender Janacho Incano or Inchao. I don't know how to pronounce that. Inchao, is that how you pronounce it? Inchao. PSG are also interested, but Liverpool are better positioned at the moment. For Sporting want 45 million. I don't know much about this geezer. Ali, I think Ali does. In Chow from Sporting, the centre back, left footed as well. We need a right centre back and a left centre back. What's up? Big up, Ram. How you doing, Ram? Ram, you might know a bit more about this geezer than me. In Chow, is it? In Chow? Yeah, it's a release clause. Is the release clause 45? Is that what he's good on FIFA, says Bob. That's all I need to know then, Bob. If he's good on FIFA, man, that's it. That seems like that's how the world runs these days. He has a release. Is the release clause the 45 million that they're talking about there? Big up, Jerry in the house. How you doing, my man? Hope you're doing well. Let's go, he says. How you doing, Jerry? I don't know much about him. I ain't going to pretend I know a lot about the geezer. But, yeah, if he's worth that, I don't know. I think Liverpool are talking to quite a few players. They won't want to make some mistakes as last summer. I agree. I think Liverpool got a bit of a list, and if they can get a player, I think they go grab it and get it. If something happens there in the transfer and they can't quite get that player, I think they'll automatically go to Plan B, whatever the next player down in the list is. So I think they're talking, like you say, I think they're talking to multiple people right now. Multiple players, talking to multiple agents, multiple representatives, and getting an idea. Because last summer was a clusterfuck. That's not pretend here. It was a whole mess. The Bellingham saga was a whole mess that we need to put behind us. We just need to put behind us, right? And we need to move on and do things properly. Oh, it's in a chow. Is that chow? Yeah, in a chow. Big up. My pronunciation of foreign names is terrible. I can barely speak English. Big up, Jerry. Okay. I'm going to call him Kevin just from now on because I'm used to pronouncing names. But 45 million seems like a deal. I'm not sure. Let me know. I know we were reported to be after him for quite some time now. But yeah, let me know, guys. Let me know if you think, is this a good deal? So if you guys know him and you guys have seen him play, let me know in the chat right now. Is this a good deal for Liverpool Football Club? Is this a good deal for Liverpool Football Club? Because I think we need a defender. I literally do think we need a defender because, you know, Matip's coming to the end, although I think he's still going to be there next season. Joe Gomez can't be trusted. Virgil van Dijk, look, we don't know with Virgil. Is Virgil going to just have a rest in the summer, then come back next season and be a lot better? I don't know. I'm still up in the air with Virgil at the moment. I still think there's a quality player there. Virgil spoke about it himself that he knows he's not quite right as well. So hopefully Virgil has a nice rest in the summer, comes back fresh, and he looks decent again with a better midfield in front of him as well. But we need a player to come in to start the process of eventually taking over a Virgil van Dijk. You know, this is what I've been saying about Liverpool a lot lately, is that we're too reactive. We're not proactive enough. You know, we should be looking at players for 2 years' time that can come to the club now, and a year or two's time, they take over from the main men in our teams. You know, Virgil's going to get to a time when we need to replace Virgil. And what's going to happen is we're going to wait till the day Virgil needs to leave to make that deal. And then everyone around world football knows, Liverpool need a Virgil van Dijk replacement. And, you know, it's going to be hard to buy a defender. So Liverpool should be on their eyes now for a defender. Now, if it's this guy, because apparently he's left-footed. So if it's this guy and he's good enough, go and pay the money, get him in now. He doesn't have to be a first-teamer straight away, but you've got him for like a year or two's time, and he can just come in and go, right, that's our Virgil replacement. We've already done it. You know, we've already got that player in. We ain't going to have to worry too much. So yeah, if he's a talent like everyone's saying, he's left-footed as well. There we go. Yeah, exactly. And I think that needs to change. I think our succession planning needs to change. We need to start looking at 2 years down the road. Yeah, he's left-footed. That Elton is a talent. So there you go. Just go. If he's that good, then we just need to go and get him. In my opinion, get the job done. Just get it done. Just go and get it done, guys. Go and get these players done. Go and buy them in. There's a lot of talent out there. Right. I want to ask you guys in the chat a question. Is Alexis Mac Allister a better footballer than Jude Bellingham? I want you to tell me in the chat right now. Is Alexis Mac Allister a better footballer than Jude Bellingham? And the reason I ask this is because there's some people on a certain YouTube channel, we'll just say it, Redmen TV, that believe, and there's certain journalists as well, Liverpool-based journalists, that believe that there's no better midfielder than Jude Bellingham, and anyone else we buy is not as good as a player as Jude Bellingham, and we're just wasting our time. So let me know in the chat. I do believe Jude Bellingham is slightly overrated. Slightly. Because I think he's a great player, Jude Bellingham. Don't get me wrong. But I just don't know what his speciality is yet. I don't know what he's special at yet. But I think because he's so young, I think Jude Bellingham can be anything he wants to be in a few years' time. But is Alexis Mac Allister that much worse than Jude Bellingham? Because I was having this argument with someone online yesterday about it, and they're going like, "Oh, Jude Bellingham's the best midfielder around. We should be going to get Jude Bellingham." And I was like, "Well, McAllister, is he much worse than Jude Bellingham?" And it's like McAllister can't lace Jude Bellingham's laces. He's nowhere near as good as him. So, all right, so I'll put it to you guys. Is he that overrated, or did the world overrate him? Jamie, I can have my sixpence and that nonsense. I just do it from Redmen. Let me know, Ram. Let me know. It was I think it was a Scass girl. I don't think it was on Redmen, like one of the people from Redmen TV. I think it was an interview with somebody on Redmen TV. But I don't think it was an actual person who works on Redmen TV, if you know what I mean. I saw it a while ago as well. It's like, I think it was like 10 days ago or something like that when all the Bellingham news come out. But let me know, Ram. Let me know. Also, yeah, and some people on Twitter as well were talking about it. Like, I think it might be the same person. I can't remember the person's name there. I'll have to get their Twitter up. But yeah, it weren't anyone who worked. I don't think the person worked on Redmen TV. I think she was just there as a guest and having a. Everyone seems to know who I'm talking about. Does everyone know who I'm talking about? So I didn't imagine it then. I didn't imagine it. So I didn't imagine it. Oh, right. Okay. There you go. I thought I did hear it. So you guys heard it in the chat. Like, Bailey, you heard it as well. Did you, Mac, you heard it as well? Because I swear I heard this take. So I wanted to bring it to you guys and what you guys thought about it. And the reason I say overrated, and I'm not saying Jude is a crap player. When I say overrated, I mean the player, he gets so much attention. Do you know what I mean? Like he is like the next coming. Do you know what I mean? That sort of overrated because he's so spoke about. And I look at midfielders across the world, and I'm looking at I look at someone like a Jude Bellingham, and I look at someone like a Camavinga, and go, is there much difference between Jude Bellingham and Camavinga? You know, no one really hypes up Camavinga that much, but there's a lot of hype on Jude. Is Jude better than Tuchemeni? Is Jude better than Musa? Is Jude better than McAllister? That sort of thing, you know. That's what I mean by overhypeness. Do you know what I mean? Overhypeness. Yeah, Ram, I'll send you the link, mate. Let me get you on Twitter and I'll send you the link, yeah? Hang on. Ram. Yeah, let me just find you on Twitter, guy, Ram, and I think I've sent you. Hang on. There we go. I sent you it, Ram. There you go, Ram. I sent you it in your DMs, man, and Twitter. So yeah, you're welcome to come in and have your say, my friend, about all this. Jude is worth whatever the selling club is willing to sell him for, not the buy club. Yeah, exactly. I actually think he might struggle in the Prem. Well, that's a fair point. Let's get Ram on the stream. Man, how you doing?
No, I'm very, very good, my friend. How you doing, man?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, I heard this thing because I swear I heard it on Red Men TV when I heard it. But I don't think the person worked on Red Men. I think she was just a guest, but she mentioned something about. I can't remember her name.
Could you just repeat for myself, just to like get a little bit of what's going on and give my 6 pence on it?
Go on, go for it, man. Go for it.
Well, could you actually say the quote right now, just you know, just as a quick reminder, so I can unpack everything what they just said.
What, the quote?
Yeah.
It was ages ago when I heard it. That's what I'm saying. It was ages ago when it was when the whole Bellingham thing. You know, when the whole Bellingham thing, we all got the news that he weren't coming to Liverpool. Yeah. And they were saying that there's no midfielder better around than Jude Bellingham. So anyone we buy is going to be a downgrade on Jude Bellingham.
Just going Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham right now is not top 5 centre midfielders in the world. And Jude Bellingham, if I went through overall midfielders, is not top 10. Is considering he may squeak into top 15. I can't go off this notion of Jude Bellingham's the best and the only midfielder in the world that we should be getting. Yeah. Because if you ask me, £120 million player, I want a player that's guaranteeing me trophies.
Yeah.
And has Jude Bellingham's only won a Pokal? Is that really good enough? Granted, he does play for Borussia Dortmund, and they are fighting for the league. To be fair, they're still second at this moment. We've gone back to second. So I'll give you a list of players that I would get instead of Bellingham.
Go for it.
Kimmich. Yeah. Does anyone turn their nose up on Kimmich? Because if you do, then you need psychiatric evaluation, my friend.
Kimmich's quality, but maybe we have our own Kimmich in Trent now.
Maybe.
They're very similar, aren't they? They're very, very similar. But
Kimmich, I'd say Kimmich is more defensively more solid. And defensively
he's like the new Lahm. He's like the new Lahm of German football, I'd say.
100%. And plus, people forget how highly he was rated when he was younger. Like people were on about him, and he was playing in the second tier of Bundesliga.
Yeah.
So he was a superstar, and he wasn't even playing in the top division, but people knew about him from time.
He ain't leaving Germany.
Oh, he's not. He ain't 100%. He's not. Nicola Barella,
quality.
A player that I'm a bit tentative with. I'm not really too keen on him, but I can't doubt his quality. He's a quality player. the positions and gets himself into creative situations where he could do his thing. And what he does is arguably special to an extent, because he's won the Serie A for Inter Milan and he's got them to the semi-final of the Champions League. So there's that. Sandro Tonali, I think that he's probably on par with Bellingham. I'll put them together, and like if you have a group of players, midfielders together, of all the best young midfielders, Tonali's in that conversation with Bellingham. But because he plays for AC Milan and plays in Serie A, which is not really talked about,
no,
they're not. They
not,
don't
he's
really
not picked up. But Tonali,
never picked up.
if you watch him play low, he's quality.
He is a brilliant player. I tell him, he's a mix of Gattuso and Pirlo mixed together. Got that, you got a solid midfielder.
Yeah,
like it is what it is. I mean,
Gravenberch.
I wouldn't put Gravenberch as better than Bellingham. I think Bellingham.
Gravenberch had a high ceiling at Ajax at around similar age, didn't they? The thing with Gravenberch, the difference, right? Because I know there's a lot of people talking about Gravenberch at the moment, because there's a lot of experts out there that say that Gravenberch's ceiling is just as high as Jude's is, because they're a similar age, aren't they? But the problem is that because Gravenberch ain't playing right now, and Jude is, and Jude goes to his national team, is that one of the main players in the national team. Like, he's getting this big spotlight put on him. But if Gravenberch was playing as much as Jude was, people keep saying that Gravenberch's ceiling is like there's not a lot in it. Now, I'm not sure, because I ain't watched a lot of Gravenberch, because he barely played for Bayern this season. I saw little bits of him at Ajax when he was younger, 18, 19. And he looks a talent. There's no doubt about it. So, Jude, I think with Jude, what you're buying Jude for is not just a player. You're buying everything, can't you? You're buying
potential.
You're buying PR, marketing, commercial, potential.
Potential is the big one. Potential is the big one. I will say this. I'll say this again. If you're gonna buy Jude Bellingham, you're buying him for the next 10 years of his career. And I have no doubts that Bellingham would turn out to be one of the best midfielders in the world in 5 or 6 years' time.
Yeah.
But we're talking about at this moment. At this moment, is he worth 100 odd million pounds? Absolutely not. I think the max I'll pay for him is 80. But the big thing of that is the potential. To be fair, I'm going to sound really harsh here. From what I've seen of him, he looks like a standard box-to-box midfielder at this moment. He's not a unicorn. He's not like a Ballack, a Mateus, a Zidane, a Gerrard when he was younger, where he had something about them. They all had game-winning moments. They all had proficiencies in their game where they're at the highest level. For me, at this moment, Bellingham doesn't have that. But he could get that in the next 5 to 6 years, or 2 to 3 years would be probably the best bet. But at this moment, no, I don't.
Is Bellingham any much better than Declan Rice right now?
You're asking for two different players.
So
you're asking for a player that I see as both box to box.
Yeah,
but one's offensively more proficient, and the other's defensively more proficient.
I like Declan. I've got to say.
I really like Declan. Like, if you're talking about me and JJ, big up JJ if he's in the chat. We were talking about the system that we're playing. The perfect partner for Trent when he's playing that inverted role, Declan Rice.
Yeah, he just sits. He's defensively got that knowledge where to sit, ain't he?
And he's got the mobility, and he's got the passing range as well. Yeah, he's the perfect player.
He's got. I think he's going to City. I think Declan Rice might be City bound. I look at him and think Calvin Phillips. I think they're going to give another try too, because I don't know if they're just going to let him go after one season. But Declan Rice with Rodri and De Bruyne in that midfield three would. That would be because I don't think look. The thing is, when people say about overratedness, that it's not a blight on the player. When you say Bellingham's overrated right now, it don't mean he's not a very good player. It just means that he's been hyped up to such a degree that if he fails, it's because he's been hyped up so much. The failure is going to look worse, when in fact it should be that he might fail a little bit because he's only bloody 19 years of age.
Mhm.
So he's not going to be tremendous straight away. So Real
It's on
Madrid
the
is a weird
people.
one. Yeah.
It's on the people that are rating him
Yeah,
rather
exactly.
than the actual player himself.
Mm.
So that's how I see it. And like I said, what people was telling me, you have to name people within the same age group, play the same positions. But bro, they said midfielders, and 100%, I guarantee you give me £100 million and I could sign any midfielder in the world. Send me to Bayern Munich. I'm getting Joshua Kimmich, proven winner, and nobody. I think there's certain people in the world that has this knack and has this aura about him. People say, "Oh, we can't really change leadership because it's such a well-knit group and everything." You do realize when people come into the dressing room and display and they come in and they have this aura about them, being like, "I'm that dog." Kimmich has that. Kimmich goes into that dressing room and I'd be like, "I'm Joshua Kimmich. I won the Champions League for Bayern Munich. I captained Bayern Munich.
Mm.
I don't care who you are. You ain't going to tell me what to do because I'm going to set the standard." He is that kind of player. There will always be players like that in the world. And for me, I will get them in a heartbeat. 100% I'll get them in a heartbeat.
Definitely. I mean, what about... I said it earlier. If Liverpool got 150 million to spend on midfield this season, just go to Brighton and get Casado and McAllister. Just offer him 150 mil. I think Melissa Reddy just put out an article about him now that's saying that Brighton won't accept anything less than 70 million for Casado. And I look at DMs. I think it's a thing we need to talk about in the future. Fabinho might have one more year left in him, but we can't leave it too late. We need a DM. And we need a DM that comes and works for us straight away. You know, Casado I've been watching in the Premier League. He's tremendous. And so I know he can do the job straight away for us without a problem. It's not going to be a gamble. And McAllister, again, I've seen him playing in midfield in the Premier League. He was the best midfielder on the pitch yesterday against Man United. He was just tremendous. And I know if I get him, he's going to work straight away to the system we want to play. And I don't know many DMs better than Casado around world football right now that, you know, at his age group, his level. You know, Ugarte, is he better than Casado? I don't know because I don't watch enough of Ugarte to have that say on him. I just feel like them two players were just... And then if you got Trent and you're really seriously thinking about making Trent a midfielder, you can have Casado, McAllister, Trent and Stefan. That's 4 midfielders there, all young. Stefan's technically very good. Trent's fantastic. And we know what Casado and McAllister does. That transforms our team straight away.
100%. You're talking about bringing energy back into the team that's so lacking at this moment. We've only got a little bit of revitalization because of the changing system. But you bring in Caicedo, McAllister, and say a Birch, energy's restored back into that team. And hunger is also restored because people are starting to realize they got a marker on their back and they need to start performing. Otherwise, they're not going to get into this team. Whether you're Jordan Henderson, Curtis Jones, Thiago, Fabinho, if he does stay, there is no rest for the wicked. You need to be playing at that level. If you're not, then it's either you're going to be on the bench or you're going to get sold. That's the crux of the matter, and I like it. We've missed that this season, and that's what gives us that winning edge. That's what we've been so good at for the last couple of seasons.
No, I agree. There's a certain guy leaving our club. This guy right here, Mr. James Milner, off to Brighton. Is he Liverpool's best ever free signing?
I'm looking through history. Littmanen?
Yeah, he was quality, but he wasn't the Littmanen of the Ajax prime years, was he? That was the problem.
Yeah, we had a phase where we just kept on signing all these great players, but they're all old and more or
Yeah,
less finished.
got Lipman
Riedler
5
was
years
another
before.
one.
Yeah, Lipman 5 years before in his Ajax prime would have been. Yeah, we just got him too late. I mean, Matip was free. Obviously, Matip was great, but Milner's a very. What I think we all forget about James Milner, he's actually a very good footballer.
Very good head.
Yeah, and I always thought he's actually technically a better footballer than Jordan Henderson.
Oh yeah.
And even now at the same age, I don't think Hendo will be as good as a footballer at 37 as James Milner is now at 37. And that's just testament to how good of a footballer actually Milner was. Look, and Milner will go down for a legend just for that quote apparently that's come out. I just hope that quote is true what he said today. That was put online today about he won the Premier League at City and won the Premier League at Anfield at Liverpool, but nothing beats winning the Premier League at Liverpool. And even lifting the trophy up at Anfield, there was more atmosphere in that stadium when we had no fans.
Damn.
And if he actually said that, that is just that.
Bro, a statue, man. Name the stand after him, bro. Like honestly.
I love the man. I love the man. I love the man. Yeah. Oh, Gary McAllister, big up, John. I think we all forget how much of a bad boy Gary McAllister actually was. Can you imagine, Ram, if Twitter was about when we bought McAllister?
What people are a bit iffy about McAllister, obviously, because I was a kid then, so I really didn't know what was going on. But people were a bit meh about him. They weren't convinced. Obviously, because he was about 37, 38 by then.
Yeah, no boy, it's James Milner's age.
Yeah. So knowing our fan base, it'll be lights out. It'll be lights out for Liverpool, man.
Yeah, and then he came in. I think he got our player of the year that year.
He did.
He was tremendous. Got the winning goal in the cup final. Well, his free kick for the golden goal. You know,
Everton.
The Everton game. Yeah, that Everton goal kept us in the Champions League hunt when we free kick. Yeah,
and also probably the most important aspect, a mentor to Steven Gerrard.
Yeah, Gerrard speaks highly of him. That's why I took him everywhere he went. When he was manager. Yeah, he speaks very McAllister.
Houllier was like, okay, Stevie, I'll put you at right back now. I need to put you in your proper position. And for that, you don't have the mindset yet. So I'm going to put you next to McAllister and he will show you the ropes of how to be a proper midfielder. And he did. He did.
I just always remember McAllister always did a floating corner with zero power. Yeah, go back and watch McAllister's corners. There were floating crosses, no power on the ball, but they'd always get to their target. Always.
Yeah, we had people like Hoopy and Henshaw in it just to get on the end of it.
He was a tremendous player. I always think sometimes age, if you're a good player, age ain't always the problem. I mean, look at Modric right now.
Yeah.
He's probably got another year left in him at Madrid. I don't think he's going nowhere. But yeah, do you reckon Bellingham works at Madrid?
I don't know. I think in terms of the actual progression of the team, yes, it does, because he'll be playing with players of similar ages and have a similar synergy with all of them. But as tactical wise, the thing is, Bellingham is not specialized in anything, as I said previously. So you can mold him into whatever player you want him to be. So from that aspect, I say he can work if he's given the right system and given the right coaching and instructions. He could work. Definitely. So I say most times or not, he would work.
No, I agree. Got a question here from Ravi. Jamie and Rand question. How many midfielders do you think we'll realistically get? Two. Because what we've got to remember is Stefan Bajcetic wasn't in Liverpool's plans, in my opinion, at all. And because of injuries this season, he had to be brought in. And he took his chance and shined. And I think Klopp looked at it and thought, Jesus, we've got a player here. We literally got a player here. And the Trent experiment right now, look, He's playing false right back, basically. Look, right back's his position, but in 80% of the games that he's played, he's basically sat in midfield. And he's arguably been our best player in the last 5 games that we've won in a row. Do you reckon Klopp's got a bit of an issue right now, Ram, that an issue that he might not want to have with Trent, that he might have to start playing him in midfield?
I think if you want to get the best out of Trent, you might have to do the unthinkable in the eyes of Klopp, which is playing in midfield. Try and limit the amount of times he goes forward. And I had my reservations about Trent, whether he could handle playing in midfield. Does he have the mindset? Does he have the right tactical awareness to play as a midfielder? He's proven me wrong so far. So at this moment, I'd say got to suck it up. I think if we are going to play a system where he's playing in midfield, I need another right back. I need a right back. I need someone that can bomb down the right hand side, just like Robertson, like almost a mirror image of Robertson. And at that, I would say someone like a Pedersen, Marcus Pedersen for Feyenoord, Alexander Barr for Benfica, players like that. But overall, I think it should be a situation where Klopp has to think about putting him in midfield because his attacking qualities are just too good not to be put in creative positions. And playing him at right back just leaves us open at so many situations and is detrimental to the team at times. Like we talked about it. We were saying how Trent was having a poor season this season because of how detrimental he is defensively. But now we're covering that deficiencies and actually asking him to be further forward is actually doing the team a lot of good. So, yeah, I'd say Klopp, you need to suck up your pride. I know you said you didn't want to play him in midfield, but I think that's the way forward now.
Well, Kimmich did it at Bayern. Kimmich was a right back at first, wasn't he? And like, he's too good going forward. He's got so much quality. His passing is so good. We could do that.
I'll tell you, he did play as a centre midfielder for Leipzig, but he would always alternate between playing as a right back in that fluid system.
And now he's found his niche, hasn't he? Now he's found his niche, which is what Trent needs to do. I think we have got a serious question there. So I watched Trent play in that midfield area for the last 6 games. And for me, it's a weird one. I think he defends better in midfield than he does when he's actually defensive right back. Because what Trent's very good at winning the ball back and reading the game. And because the game's more in front of him in the middle of the park, he reads the game better because he's got to be completely thinking about the game constantly in midfield. When you're at right back, and if Liverpool have got a lot of possession, he will sometimes forget about his positioning defensively because, you know, he's not as active. In that midfield, he has to be on it so much. And what I like about Trent scans the pitch better than any other midfielder we have apart from Thiago. You see that when he receives the ball, he's already looking round straight away, scanning, and knows where he wants to play the ball as soon as he receives it. So because he's scanning the pitch, he knows where he has to pick up positionally, defensively in midfield. Also, he's excellent intercepting. He's very good at intercepting, and Klopp loves a midfielder that can intercept and win that second ball back and win the ball back in transition. And that's something we haven't had all season because Hendo can't do it anymore because he hasn't got the legs. Fabinho can't do it anymore because he hasn't got the legs. Thiago is always injured, you know. So we haven't really got another player who could do that. And is it a coincidence that we've gone on a winning run since Trent's position has changed?
It ain't a coincidence. And like you said, Jamie, people. This is why I said the people that said, "Oh, Thiago is a detriment to this team." Like he's one of the reasons why we're not doing well because of this creativity and Klopp doesn't know how to use him. I'm like, you really don't know football if you keep on saying if you're thinking the way you're thinking, because Thiago's best attribute is his interceptions. His reading of the game is fantastic in a defensive sense. That's why I wouldn't buy into the fact. Yes, he's not mobile, but say he's a detriment is completely wrong. Like absolutely, like 100%. You're categorically wrong. And like you said, Jamie, if you look at his stats as a defender, he almost defends like a midfielder or someone playing further forward up the field.
Yeah, exactly. I'm liking Trent in midfield. I mean, the one who slows down the ball the most at the moment is our captain, unfortunately. Now, Jordan Henderson, I love the geezer. I've got his book. I will praise Jordan Henderson for what he's done for Liverpool Football Club in the Jurgen Klopp era because he plays a big role in it. I don't think we should underestimate the role he's played under Jurgen Klopp and when we've been successful in that. He was definitely part of that argument. And the problem is now, I think he's going to be 33 going into next season. And you can see, I don't know about you guys, but after 60 minutes of that game the other day against Fulham, he looked knackered. He looked like his legs are gone. And at the moment, what he does, and he's doing it well because it's what he does, he's very good at running, running up and down, getting in positions for Trent, covering ground, pressing, that sort of stuff. He's always been good at that. And he'll probably always be good at that sort of side of the game. But my problem is now, probably the same with you, Ram. You can do all that. That's good. But I need a bit more quality when you get hold of the ball now. And that's when I look at McAllister. For me, McAllister can do what Hendo does off the ball. Perfectly fine because I've seen him do it at Brighton. But I know what McAllister's going to give me on the ball. And it's going to be quality. And that's the upgrade, in my opinion, Ram, I think we need. Don't know how you feel about that.
I completely agree. I completely agree in the sense of if you talk about Henderson, is always the intensity, the running, the pressing, everything like that. But we've gone to a stage where majority of the games we're having about 75% of the ball and having very little amounts of space within the final third of the pitch. And Henderson just doesn't have the mobility or the agility and sometimes even the creativity to weave, like do a little of a drop of the shoulder, weave his way around the defenders or finding a cutting edge ball. He just doesn't have that. That's never been his game. He's always been winning the ball back and playing it to the players that will play football. That's how he's always been, and he's been very effective at it. You always need players like that in your team. And I think at this moment, and I think the Tottenham game was a perfect example. The Tottenham game, we were offensively so dominant because Harvey Elliott is probably more proficient going forward, or he's not probably, he is proficient going forward compared to Henderson. Yeah. And at this moment, he, in an offensive sense, is a lot better than Henderson. But it's also the catch-22. Defensively, without Henderson, we would be in a lot more open situations.
Yeah, exactly.
Like again, Tottenham, for example, we were 2-0, we were 3-0 up, and now we had to get pegged back by 2 in the space of like half an hour. Like, come on, it's if that doesn't tell you anything, we need a more mobile centre midfielder. And look, if you talk about this season, if we were not sentimental, I think
Endo should be leaving this summer.
He should be leaving, but the club has different ideas. I was all on board for saying, Hendo can play the Milner minutes, like say that. 10,
he's not as versatile as Milner.
10 games a year.
That's the problem. He's not as versatile as Milner. Milner comes on a sub and goes right back sometimes, goes number 6, goes number 8, go left back, sit in anywhere and do a job. Hendo ain't versatile like Milner. So Hendo's just got one position only. And I do think he will see less minutes next season. I just think Hendo is going to stay at Liverpool till he retires. He's got 2 years left on his deal. That takes him to 34, 35. I don't know if Hendo plays further than that. And
I think 35 is the max.
Yeah, I just don't think he's got the legs like a Milner to go 36, 37, 38. So I think Hendo will probably retire at Liverpool. I don't see him leaving. I don't think Klopp wants him to go. I think Klopp trusts him still. But he definitely won't be as much. He surely won't play as much as next season if we get new players in, and with Thiago back fit, Stefan
Hopefully.
back fit, there's just no room for him. Ganga Deep says, Jamie and Ram, have you seen the recent overlap where Cara and Paul Machin were backing the owners and Liverpool's infrastructure? It was disgusting. No, I haven't watched a lot of the overlap. I do like the overlap actually, because I don't actually mind Gary Neville. I'm going to say it.
I think him and Jamie are funny.
Yeah, they're a great combination. There is no doubt about it. Yeah, the infrastructure, right. I will say one thing, right? So you see Man City, they buy certain players by sponsorships, right? So it went Etihad Airways, didn't they buy someone that who was it they bought for City?
Probably Aguero, wasn't
yeah,
it?
wasn't the Aguero transfer done on Etihad Airlines sort of paid the money for Aguero to come to the football club and something like that? And then
Etihad,
yeah, and the Etihad Airlines is owned by the owners that own Man City, and it's all, how can they be your sponsor? And it's just all like, so when we talk about infrastructure like that, there is dodgy stuff that goes on at football clubs. You know, you look at Newcastle now. Newcastle are going from having, £3 million a year shirt sponsor to £26 million a year in a 12-month jump. That shouldn't happen. It just, so the infrastructure at the club, in my opinion, is quite a sound infrastructure in a way. The problem is that FSG are too tight with everything they do. That is the issue here. That the infrastructure at Liverpool, we're not in any real debt. We're behind the scenes, the club is a profitable business. Look at Chelsea. I think Chelsea like 200 or 300 million pound in debt or something like that.
The way they're spending, probably.
Yeah, and they've got to sell so many players in the summer to avoid FFP on wages. They're not a profitable football club. So, infrastructure-wise, I understand the argument that they're making. What I can't understand is why we don't spend more money when we need to. That's the thing that drives and I think drives a lot of people mad, is that we've obviously got money because we're such a well-run club behind the scenes, that there's obviously enough money coming into the football club that we can spend more than we do. But we don't release the purse strings enough. And I think that's what irritates most Liverpool fans. So it's McAllister deal right now. And the McAllister deal right now, Klopp, when Klopp was asked that in the press conference, he basically didn't want to talk about it. That tells you this deal's almost done, yeah?
Yeah.
It looks like McAllister wants to come to Liverpool. Liverpool want McAllister. Now, I'm at a point now, though, I don't trust Liverpool, though, till I see them in the shirt. You know what I mean? Because, I could see Brighton play hardball a bit. Okay, yeah, he's agreed personal terms. He wants to go to you, but we want 70 million. And Liverpool like, no, we were only going 55. And that's what irritates a lot of the Liverpool fan base, because it's like, just pay the money. We've got it. It's not going to leave us broke. Just do the job, and that'll get the player in, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what you think, Ram, but that's how I feel.
No, I like all you said is factual. Like, it's always the case of, I get it, you want to get the best deal possible, but like, you don't need to be so overly penny pinching about it. Like, if it's an extra 5-10 million, we make a lot of money. We are a very profitable football club. We should be able to be like, yeah, okay, fine. If you want an extra 5 million, then cool. We'll do that in like an installments or something like that. I don't understand why we don't do that. But we know how Liverpool operate. They want to try and get the best value possible, the best money, and the best money the best players that we can get for the value for their money, our money. So that's how it is. And look, the reason why I want FSG out and I want particularly Arab owners in, it's just for the fact that I want everything to be perfect at Liverpool. I want the best stadium, the best team. I want the best women's team. I want the best infrastructure just around the stadium. I just want everything to be perfect.
I agree.
And that's why I want the likes of DIC or QIA to come in.
Yeah, we just need look, everyone else is doing it. You can guarantee, though, right? as soon as Liverpool get these mega rich owners in or state ownership or anything like that, we start to do what all the other teams are doing, the dodgy dealings. Liverpool are the ones that get done for it.
But we don't need to do any of the dodgy dealings. That's the thing.
That happened though. No? That happened. Throw the book at Liverpool. Throw the book at Liverpool. They're such a big name. Like, that would make attention. Yeah. No one knows Man City out of Manchester. Do Europe really know Newcastle? Liverpool Football Club. Yeah, throw the book at them, mate. It's easier to do. Tillemans, free apparently. What are we saying?
Nope.
I don't get the Tillemans stuff. I've never understood it. I've never understood Tillemans as a player. I've never rated him like that.
2 years too late.
Man, I don't know. I look at Tillemans all the time, and people could say it's a myth, but I'm not sure. He just don't look like he's got any stamina.
Bro, he don't.
He's like the Conor McGregor of footballers. He's one round.
People say that he's. People say that. Oh, why we should go for Tillemans instead of someone like a Ward Prowse.
It's like Chris Pajak.
Damn. That's a bit. That's way. That's a wee bit harsh.
Poor Chris Pajak. I like Chris though. He's more of the Chris, the funny one. Yeah, what are you saying about Tillemans? Sorry.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of Tillemans. Like, if you're gonna get Tillemans, might as well just get James Ward-Prowse in. Right.
Yeah,
I don't see no difference between the two.
I think Ward-Prowse gives us more off the ball than Tillemans does, to be fair.
Oh, 100%. And arguably, like, I wouldn't say technically he's better than Tillemans, but they're both quite good. I mean, Tillemans is probably better than him.
Yeah.
But Ward-Prowse is not technically deficient compared to Tillemans. Like, that's why
there ain't much in it. I think Tillemans gets a lot of hype sometimes because he sometimes hits a 40-yard goal and things like that. And I think people get a bit hyped on him. But every time I've watched him internationally for Leicester, I've never sat there and gone, he's a player.
He's just a bit like
he's just one of these average, okay players that get a little bit of hype behind them for me. I look at Maddison and go, there's a player.
Oh yeah.
No, that's the difference. I look at Maddison and go, there's a player. If he could just stay fit, that's a player for me. Yeah, Maddison, I would love. There we go. Sorry, I got rid of her around there. What Maddison, Leicester, what's his future? I'm not sure. I don't know if he's got one at Leicester now. Leicester are going to get relegated. Well, if Leicester do get relegated, he's definitely off. But I know a lot of Liverpool fans were like, well, why don't we go for Madders? He's a quality player, and he is. Unfortunately, it's the Carvalho thing. We haven't got a place for him.
And he breaks down a lot.
Yeah.
To be fair, though,
base player. That's the thing.
To be fair, though,
I was shit as well. I love Maddison technically, but he's not quick.
He has a good starting pace, like off the he has good acceleration
Yeah.
But then once he gets into the sprint, then it's not good. It's not good. But if we talk about a guy that can play in the middle and drifts off to the right hand side, and he went homegrown as well, he's that guy. He is that guy.
Yeah, he's just going to cost money, ain't he? Even with a year left in his deal, I think he's going to cost money. I mean, I don't know why. I just see him at Newcastle.
And so do I. He kind of fits the profile of what they need. And he's a very, very expressive player. And Newcastle, they need a couple more expressive players in their team, and he fits that bill.
No, I agree.
I just see it.
I agree. So the Ugarte one, apparently Liverpool are not looking at Ugarte now because of the 53 million release clause. I think, do you know what it is? I think Ugarte is a player Liverpool will get if they can't get Mason Mount. I think that's what they're looking at. I think Alexis Mac Allister and Mason Mount are Liverpool's first two choices. I was reading a Paul Joyce article yesterday in the paper, and he basically says it there. McAllister and Mason Mount are Liverpool's top two choices for midfield next season. And they're really, but if Mason Mount decides to stay at Chelsea, then Ugarte will be the player they go for. So when they're talking about this £3 million release clause is too much for Liverpool right now, it's on the basis that they don't want to get Ugarte Mason Mount and McAllister. It's Mason Mount or Ugarte. So if Mason Mount decides to stay at Chelsea, Liverpool will turn their attention to Ugarte and pay the transfer fee of 52 million release clause for him, because that's what it's probably going to cost to buy Mason Mount from Chelsea. So that's Liverpool's shopping list, man. That's Liverpool's shopping list. That's where they sit. I've said it before. I'm not a massive Mason Mount fan. I think he's better than people give him credit for, but I actually think he works in the Jurgen Klopp system, and he could be one of them players that we all hate, can't stand the transfer, and in 12 months' time we look at it and go, hey, she's all right for us. You know what I mean? It could be one of them, but he's not going to set the world on fire. That's the problem.
I think because they're just so much in my eyes, they're just so much better players out there, but that could do so much for this team. And like Mason Mount, yeah, he's a solid player, but I want to go back. I want to go to the place where we could have proficient midfielders that have so much more to the game than just good at pressing, decent on the ball, can stretch the play and all that kind of stuff. Like I want more, you know. I think we need to look for more, especially given the situation that everyone's going to be strengthening as well.
Do you think that's the weird thing of Liverpool? Because I know people say this, is that Liverpool are willing to spend 50 million on a player like Mason Mount, but a lot of people will be saying there's like loads of players, even in the Premier League, that you could probably spend that or less on and get better than Mason Mount. So what is it in Mason Mount that Liverpool actually rate? Because if they're actually interested heavily, I think Liverpool are heavily interested in Mason Mount. You know, his stories ain't just made up. They are heavily linked to him. They heavily want him. There's something about Mason Mount that they really like. Because as you say, Ugarte's there for the same money. You know, you got Kone, you got Thuram around the same money. You know, you got a Birch around the same money. But there's something about Mason Mount that Liverpool really like. What is it, do you think?
I think it's the fact that he's homegrown. He plays for Chelsea. He played at the high level.
We know that Arsenal.
And like our homegrown quota stinks. It stinks. So there's that as well. So I think
the homegrown thing is more important next season than it is every other year, isn't it? Because you have.
That's why I'm not too fussed on us signing James Ward-Prowse.
Yeah,
because go ahead, Jay.
Homegrown, good set pieces. I think he's actually a far better passer on the ball than people give him credit for. It's because he played for Southampton. You know, you put him in a team that plays in front of him more. I think you see the better of him at Southampton. Everyone's behind
him in that inverted role, Jamie.
Yeah, I think he. You know, if you're going for Mason Mount or Ward-Prowse, I maybe look at it and go, you know what, Ward-Prowse, Mason Mount, what is Mason Mount better at Ward-Prowse at, and what is Ward-Prowse better at Mason Mount at? And you have to just put that chart up on the wall and try and tick 3 boxes. But I don't think there's a lot in it, to be fair. Jamie, are Liverpool put off by the 53 million release clause because you have to pay up front, whereas 50 for Mount will be paid in instalments? Maybe, but we paid release clauses before. Weren't the Canate one 40 million euros, was it? And Liverpool played the Canate release clause.
But it's with Leipzig. We've got a good relationship with the Red Bull club. So
I think if Liverpool seriously want a player, they will play the release clause, I think. If they seriously want to play. Look, Liverpool, again, with Canate, Liverpool could have gone around and looked for other defenders that cost around 40 million euros that could have been as good as Canate and more ready. But Liverpool decided, no, Canate is the man they wanted. They didn't look at anyone else. That's the one they wanted and were willing to pay the release clause. So I literally think, Andy, big up for you, Super Chat. I literally do think Liverpool now look at players and think, yeah, Mason Mount might cost me 50 million. Kone might cost me 50 million. Birch might. And you'll be able to do the same transfer deal for a Kone as you would with a Mason Mount. There's no doubt about that. But there's something that Liverpool like in a player they are willing to pay for. I've always said it. If Liverpool really like a player, proper like a player, and they meet their evaluation for him, they will pay that money. So Jude Bellingham, Liverpool believed Jude Bellingham was worth £80 million. That's what they valued him at. Ram said it on here. That's what he values Jude Bellingham at £80 million. We're hearing now that Real Madrid don't want to spend anywhere near £100 million for Jude Bellingham. So we're hearing now that Jude Bellingham, Real Madrid want to pay between 80 and 95 million pound for Jude Bellingham. They don't want to pay 100 plus million for him. Borussia Dortmund want between 130 and 150 million for Jude Bellingham. So teams have their valuation for players, and they will want to get that player for that valuation. And if Liverpool value Mason Mount at 50 million, guys, they will pay the 50 million for Mason Mount. It's as simple as that. Even if there's other players out there that we think are better than Mason Mount, Liverpool think there's a deal there, they will pay it, I think. If they really like Ugarte, I think they will buy Ugarte. They will pay the release clause for Ugarte. Release clauses, there's a thing. There's a buyout clause and a release clause, and they're two different things, ain't they? If I remember rightly. I think one of them you have to pay outrightly. Another one you have to buy the player for that much money, but you can do it in installments, I believe. I think that's the difference between the two. Because the Enzo one at Chelsea, you had to pay the release clause. The buyout clause, I think, if I remember rightly, Ram, you might be able to correct me on this, is that you have to buy them for that much. That's the player's valuation, but you can do a deal on that sort of transfer. I think that's the difference, isn't it? That's what I was told anyway.
I think normally it really does depend on the selling club. Is at the end of the day, what they want is their money as quick as possible. Some clubs would want their money up front. Some of them would want it in installments. It's really just up to Sporting Lisbon at this moment. So yeah, we can't really do much about it. It's really up to them.
Yeah, Cherry says Højbjerg has better stats than the guy by miles, but I don't want him at all.
Damn.
Yeah, Højbjerg is shocking, man.
Yeah, he is not good. Højbjerg. I used to rate him like a couple of years ago, but now he's just like.
Oh, do you remember when Tottenham won the transfer war in the summer? You remember that?
Yeah, they did. Apparently.
I know you look back on their summer and you think, actually, they bought trash. They didn't. I've always said it. Kulusevski was a purple patch player. Do not compare him to Luis Diaz, please.
Don't tell Terry that.
Oh, it does my nutty, man. He's a purple patch player, same as Rashford. Who, by the way, I didn't know this till yesterday, but Marcus Rashford has only scored 2 Premier League goals since February.
Yep.
Just putting it out there. Purple patch players. Stop rating them against our king. Talking about kings, that is a picture and a half, ain't it? Ram,
I don't know what they're.
I don't know what the trousers are, but they've been made to wear them trousers, and they should actually smack the person. Apart, I've got to say, though, Darwin's making it work.
Yeah, because that's the more outlandish one out of all of them.
Yeah, but
all of them look like, what's it called? Like 1970s nerd trousers. Like, it's a bit,
It's because the kit's from the 70s, ain't it? Maybe that's it.
Yeah. Oh my God. I don't know.
I do. Right. The reason I got this picture up because it has this front three of Luis Diaz, Darwin Núñez, and Mo Salah. I don't know if Liverpool have done this on purpose to put them three together for this photo. Is that Liverpool's front three next season, Ram?
Nope.
Explain why. I'd love to hear your explanation on this.
Because I think we are more proficient with a certain Mr. Cody Gakpo as our striker. I really like Gakpo now. I used to be like, yeah, he looks all right, but I don't think he's going to be at that top level. I think he'll be a big part, but he'll be good. But boy, he's proving why he's such a good little player. Well, not little, he's about 6'4". But yeah, I think it's going to be them four. Like, it just works. The synergy between each one of them. They all can play football in tight spaces. They're just more of a better fit, in my opinion, than say a Luis Diaz, Darwin Nunez, and a Salah.
Yeah,
That's how I just see it.
With Darwin, because I think Darwin will play against Brentford. Because Klopp made a point that Jota's still got a sore back and a big bruise on his back, so he might not start the game. Luis Diaz might start his third game in a row. Do you expect Darwin to start again against Brentford tomorrow night?
No, I think Gakpo will start against Brentford. I think it's already tried and tested and it's proven. I don't think we need to really be changing things around anymore. Like it's just not. It won't be good for us. I think just stick to what we've been doing good for the last couple months. So I would stick with Gakpo up front.
I like Gakpo. The more I watch him, the more I'm impressed with him week in, week out. I've got to say, I said it the other day, and I got a bit lambasted by it, but I said it the other day. If he dropped a little bit deeper, he reminds me a bit of Yaya Toure. And the reason I said that, not as a player for player, right?
Stature.
It's his stature and the way he moves with the ball is so similar. You know how he protects the ball, and on that half turn, he's got that long stride that just gets away from midfielders and defenders, and he's just sort of like throwing them off him as he runs forward, in the way Yaya Toure used to do. So that's why I've always looked at Gakpo and thought, could Gakpo actually be a midfielder? Because he has so many attributes to his game that is so like a midfielder. You know, he plays like a midfielder higher up the pitch, if that makes sense. You know, he protects the ball. He's got a good pass on him. He can find a goal. He can defend well as well. He's a very good defender of the ball as well. His ball protection is fantastic. He's hard to take the ball off him. He's good in the press. You know, he's got a lot of attributes, ain't he, to being a midfielder eventually. I think he will be a forward for Liverpool next season. But I think Liverpool might be having a look at Gakpo for the long term, and one day maybe making him that sort of like explosive number 8 midfielder. What do you reckon, Ram?
I think given to a certain manager, he can fulfill that role. I think at this moment, for Jurgen Klopp and what he wants, he needs him as like a false 9 / striker up front. But maybe in like another couple years time, or even 3 or 4 years time, and we get a new manager and he wants to play a certain way, he'll utilize Gakpo as like a number 10, or he'll use him as a number 8, just whatever. But one thing I can say is he's definitely, he's definitely versatile, and I think he can last for about not 30 to 40 years, until he's about mid 30s. Should I say? I want to say mid 30 to 40 years, bro. That's a long time. But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely our false 9 going forward. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I worry about Darwin. I ain't gonna lie. I like Darwin Nunez. I've always been one of these people who actually rate Darwin Nunez. I think he can be a player. But right now, in the way Jurgen Klopp plays and the way Jurgen Klopp likes to play, I don't. If you look at the players we're interested in the summer, a McAllister, a Mason Mount, a Ugarte, a Ryan Gravenberch, they're the 4 players Liverpool have been highly linked with. None of them players changes our system. No, none of them players really change the way we go play. You know, McAllister plays to the system we play, that counter-pressing system. So if we're going to continue the same system next year that we've been playing under Klopp for the last 8 years, Darwin don't suit that system. And then it's up to Darwin Nunez to really train himself to suit the way we play. But if he does that, do we take a lot out of Darwin's game that we don't really want to take out of? And if that's the case, does Darwin have a future at Liverpool Football Club?
I don't like it when we try and mold a player to something else when he's already established himself as a certain type of player. I think it will be a waste of time in a sense. Like it won't be a fluid transition. It would be very much going from point A to point B, from one point of extreme to another point of extreme. So if it's the case where we can't find a system where we could get the best out of him, then we do have to think about whether we should depart with him. I really do. Like, I think what's most important is how well we do as a football club rather than how well the player does. Like, the player's progression really does not concern me unless we're winning trophies.
Yeah, Liverpool if Liverpool are back fighting in the top 4, which I think they will be next season, I know a lot of people have got their worries. I've already gone out there and said I've already gone big. I don't think Arsenal make top 4 next season. I've already gone big on it, right? And because I think Arsenal have taken massive advantage of the poor league this year, and I think it'll catch up with them next season playing Champions League football, because I don't think they've got the squad. And I think Liverpool will be back next season. Look, we're crap right now, and we're 4 points behind Man United. And I know we're probably going to finish 5th because we've left it too late, which is really annoying. Liverpool going on their usual end of season run that we always do, so I'm not shocked. And I think we'd be fighting back in the top 4 next season, and we're fighting back into the top 9. I'm not saying title challenge or anything like that, because beating the title of City is going to be hard for everyone. And be back in that top 4 hunt next season, no doubt about it. And if we are, we're around that full 3rd and 2nd spot, and we're just playing Gakpo consistently as a false 9, and we're playing Jota consistently as the second false 9 in the team, and Darwin's not getting many minutes. Am I really concerned that Darwin's not getting minutes? Probably not. But as you say, I want Darwin to succeed at this football club. I like Darwin Núñez as a player. I want him to succeed. Liverpool putting a lot of money into Darwin Núñez, so he's not going anywhere. They're putting a lot of faith in him. He has got what Darwin needs to do. What Darwin needs to do is Darwin needs to start taking his chances when they're present.
Yes, 100%.
The Fulham game the other day, I don't think Darwin grabbed his chance at all. And if Darwin grabbed his chance in the Fulham game, Darwin keeps his spot for Brentford. Klopp were like, right, I'll keep your spot. Yes, Darwin won the penalty. Apart from that, I don't think Darwin did a lot in that game. In fact, when Gakpo came on, I thought Gakpo in his 20 minutes was better than Darwin in the whole game. And I think Klopp's looking at it right now and thinking, right, I like Darwin. But I personally think this. If Luis Diaz and Jota weren't injured this season, I don't think Darwin would be playing much anyway. And I think Darwin was 60. I know he was £65 million. People might not like this, but I think Darwin is a project player that they've got. They see that in 2 or 3 years' time, he's going to be outstanding for us, and he's going to be one of the top strikers in world football. And that's why we bought him now. But because we paid so much money for him, the fan base is like, shouldn't Darwin be playing more because he did cost £65 million? Then you've gone and bought this Gakpo geezer, who now, all of a sudden, he was a left winger, he's all of a sudden now our false 9. But now we're like in May, and we're looking at Gakpo and going, shit, he actually works really well playing that false 9 role. So I think for us, we all want Darwin to succeed. But right now, for the benefit of the football team, the team is better with Gakpo in the number 9 position. And I think it's up to Darwin. If he wants to grab his chance, he's got to train, get coached better. Look at Aguero. Pep didn't want Aguero at Man City when he first came because he didn't play to Pep's way as a striker. He wanted him gone. He brought in Gabriel Jesus. He actually dropped Aguero, started playing to Gabriel Jesus, and Aguero was like, no. You don't do that to me. And changed the way he played to suit Pep Guardiola's system. And Aguero took his game to another level. Now, I'm not saying Darwin can do that because Darwin's not Aguero, but it is literally up to Darwin Núñez to sort himself out, in my opinion, and get used to the country, get learning the language, settle down, try and sort it out. And hopefully he can, because I do think he will be a benefit of this football team if he does sort it out, Ram.
Yeah, I do think so as well. I think it's notorious of a lot of players that come from a different league or a different country and doesn't do well in their first season, and then the season after they end up taking off. Like that's how it normally goes. So I'll be patient. I think we've got the players where we can be a little bit patient because I don't think we really gave him that time to sort of adjust to life in the league. I think we all expected him to come in like a house on fire and just take off. And it was never going to happen like that. Like I've always said, he will be a purple patch player for me this season. He will show glimpses of what he's all about. But there'll be some points where you'll be like, you have enough of him. Like that's how the cookie crumbles. And that's what's happened. He's shown glimpses of what he's all about and how he can still be a massive part of this football club. But he has been frustrating quite a lot of the time. And I knew this. And at this moment right now, he's almost hitting my minimum target, which was hitting 20 GA for the season in all comps. He's about to hit that. So at this moment, I'm not too upset with him, unlike some certain other people where I think agendas might be fueling their judgment. But yeah, I'm looking to be patient with the guy. Like I'm not rushing him out or rushing him into anything. I'll give him the time that he needed because I think we've got the players where we can afford him that time.
Yeah, I agree. I think the major issue with Darwin is that he came in the same year as a certain alien went to Man City, and that was, that doesn't help his cause. We go and buy a striker that we desperately need. Look, a lot of people were liking Darwin before we bought him when he played against us. We looked at him and was like, when then we were interested in the summer, and a lot of people were going, right, we're getting a proper striker in. An out-and-out striker, no more false nine stuff. And we got him in, and he's not quite the striker that everyone thought he would be. Then City got a Haaland, and there's comparisons, and it's like that's not helped. But unfortunately, I look at people like Jota, and I think Jota's probably Liverpool's best striker.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And if I got to choose between Darwin and Jota to play tomorrow in a key game, I'm picking Jota all day long. Then I've got Gakpo and Darwin, and like the way we play and the way we suited at the moment. At this moment in time, I'm going Gakpo as well. So Darwin's got to work on his game for me. He's got to work on his game, but hopefully he can work on his game. We can get the player we know he is, because there's a bit of fire gone out of Darwin at the moment. I've noticed. Darwin's not Darwin's an aggressive man. He's an aggressive player, and I'm not seeing any of that at the moment. He looks really down and depressed. So I hope he can get better. Big up, Max says, like and sub, guys, and sub to Jerry James.
Yeah, big up, man.
Yeah, big up Jerry James, honestly. Big up Jerry James. Correct, Darwin's always going to get compared to Haaland. That's a huge start. Yeah, Haaland's a different animal.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was Liverpool and City that was fighting out for Premier League season after season, and they both get a striker in. Naturally, the media is going to compare the two, even though it wasn't even fair on Darwin because what's his name? Haaland was already established at that point. But
yeah, exactly.
That's how the English media are.
Haaland was doing it at Salzburg. He was doing it at Borussia Dortmund. And unfortunately, Darwin he had one good season at Benfica. Scored a lot of goals, looked decent. Yeah. Looks good for his international side, Uruguay and all that. But yeah, we're comparing apples and oranges. Big up, Mac. Jamie Ram in chat. Do we need drop 30 or 40 million on a right back?
I think there's
they got a lot of faith in Conor Bradley, ain't they? They've got a lot of faith in Conor Bradley, but I know he's just got player of the year. He's just won everything. Is that Bolton? He's at the moment, and he's just mopped up at Bolton for individual awards and had a tremendous season. But that's League One, man. That's League One. It's a totally different world. Liverpool should have faith in him. He should be a project. There's no doubt about that. Liverpool should keep him around. But you got Ramsey there as well, who was bought as a right back. So if you go and buy another right back and you got Ramsey there, you got Conor Bradley there, you still got Trent there. You have to buy a right back that is someone like a Walker Peters, maybe. Someone like that who is good defensively but can get forward well at the same time. I think Liverpool need a fine balance.
That's why I said Marcus Pedersen or Alexander Barr if you want to go abroad.
Yeah.
They're both defensively proficient, but they both can get up and down the pitch. like
Yeah.
his old school right backs. Like they're quite big. Both of them are 6 foot or above, respectively. Both incredibly fast and quite strong as well. They're old school right backs, dominant right backs as well. So that's why I'd look at them as well.
Yeah, definitely a right back. Yeah, look, we're thinking about it playing Trent in midfield. Look, Trent can play right back in some games, midfield in some others. He can be that versatile player. Like Kimmich was at Bayern. Sometimes Kimmich just finds himself at right back, then he's in defensive midfield area. I think with Trent, if you go play Trent in midfield, like one thing we ain't talked about, I think you have to play him in a double pivot. You have to have him alongside an aggressive defensive midfielder, and then let Trent almost do the role Thiago should have done for Liverpool since he joined, and be that creative DM, that sits in the double pivot, and then you've got like a more natural attacking-minded midfielder in front of him, like a McAllister, say, like that. That could work. I'm not sure if Trent will work straight in a 4-3-3. We haven't really seen that yet, because we're playing like when Trent goes into midfield, he goes alongside Fabinho, then he's got Curtis Jones and Henderson in front, and then he's got the 3 out of back. So we're not seeing that 4-3-3 from him yet. So I'm sure he could play there because Trent's a masterful player, and I think we might have to just get used to. I think we're so used to seeing Trent at right back that we don't want him to come out of right back and play midfield when. That I've always said it. He's a midfielder who's played right back. I mean, his attributes are just—he's so creative. He's so good on the ball. I think we just got to keep him there.
I think just if you look at it quite simply, is that you move that right back into midfield, you just got that massive hole on that right hand side, and you're just like, we can't leave that open. We need to get someone that could be in that position.
I think Cole Walker Peters, Southampton probably going to get relegated, so. He could be a reasonable price, He could be a reasonable
15 to 20.
I think he'd do a job. Because he's got that nice balance of he can go forward and do bits, but he can defend really well at the back as well. So yeah,
right back and left back.
Yeah, I think he could do that job quite nicely. Big up Gangady. Nunes being raw in a project is why I didn't want him. We used on the squad, needed someone ready made to put us in the best position to get over the line. Yeah, I can understand your argument now, because it does look right now that Darwin Nunes is a project player. Right, guys, before we get out of here, we're just going to give you our teams for Brentford on Saturday evening. It's going to be a difficult game, but if Liverpool will go try and nick top 4, which I don't think they can, Klopp mentioned it today, but the Man United's away form is shocking. And Bournemouth, they got Bournemouth away and West Ham away, I think. And if they slip up in them games, Liverpool need to make sure they're there to take advantage. So let's just try and win all the remaining games. We've got Brentford on Saturday. I think Liverpool have got to play better than they did against Fulham, because Ivan Toney will not miss them chances Vinicius did. And Ivan Toney's an excellent footballer. Don't forget the credit he deserves, probably because he plays for Brentford. Yeah. But what's your team, Ram? What's your 11?
Ali, Trent, Ibu, Birch, Left
back situation. Simicast was not good against Fulham.
Robbo, Fab, Jones, Elliot, Salah, Gakpo, Diaz.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna go Alisson, Trent, Ibu and Kanate, Ibu and Kanate, like the two different people. Kanate and Virgil. Yeah, Robbo back at left back. I don't think Simicast again really took his chance. I don't want to see Henderson play.
Henderson might not be fit.
Yeah, Henderson's played so many games lately as well.
I'm also putting Elliot in there because Hendo ain't fit and Thiago is gone. So
Elliot, Fabinho, and Curtis Jones, who, by the way, Curtis Jones doing so well. Front three, Yeah, I'm going to go. Yeah, I think Gakpo plays false nine Salah. I think Luis Diaz starts again. We just got to keep winning. We just got to keep winning.
I've got a question.
Go for it.
Do you think Elliot and Thiago can work instead of a Jones and Henderson? It's Thiago will be more of the deeper player, but Elliot will be the more advanced player. So
That's
almost like a flat three in front of the defense.
That's what he needs. Elliot needs to be more advanced, don't he? I mean, see the problem with Elliot right now. I've always liked Harvey Elliott. I know a lot of people don't. A lot of people get him, but I've liked Harvey Elliott. I think he's a talented boy. I just don't think playing number 8 for Liverpool suits him because he's not. He doesn't know defensively what position to pick up, and then when he gets into forward areas, he sometimes gets in Mo Salah's way because he wants to be in the position Mo Salah wants to be in because that's natural to his game. So I think that's why we're not being seen a lot of Harvey lately. I think he'll play on Saturday though because Henderson's a little issue. So I think Harvey will play. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, next season you'll have Stefan back, Thiago back. You'll have new midfielders as well. I mean, I don't know where Harvey's going to stand next season, to be fair. He could be just used as that right winger replacement for Mo.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, Luis Diaz will start again. He start picking up Diaz's fitness a little bit going towards the end of the season, so he can have a good pre-season. So he's back strong next year. Mo is 2 goals behind a certain Stevie Gerrard in Prem goals now. So Mo's going to want to get that done in the next couple of weeks, you will feel. So yeah, Mo's on fire at the moment. So he's probably going to break Gerrard's record and be our 5th all-time goal scorer, which is mad.
Wow.
Which is mad. And then Gakpo starting. Look, we need to keep winning. I think United need 8 more points out of their 4 games because Liverpool can only finish on 71 points. So for Man United to finish on 72 and be 4th, they need 8 more points in their next 4 games. Their 2 away games are Bournemouth and West Ham. I think they got West Ham next. West Ham I
don't see them dropping points, Jamie.
West Ham love putting a little dent in United, though, don't they?
They do.
What's your West Ham try as well? I think West Ham would try, I think they will try.
I think they will try, but again, I don't see it. I really don't see it happening.
No, unfortunately, I think we are going. I think we're going to win away games now till the end of the season.
Yeah,
and I think United might drop a point here or there, but finish on 72 points, and we're going to finish 1 point behind 4th place, which is going to be hard to take because for me, I still think we're a far better team than Man United. We've just had a bad year. I don't think Man United are that great. I've gone back and looked at United's games. They got out of a lot of issues in their games because of Rashford's form. And you take Rashford out of their team in their form periods, no one else is really scoring for them. Our goal difference is far better than theirs as well, by the way. So that could even come down to it. So it's going to be hard to take. It really is going to be hard to take. But then again, if Arsenal beat Newcastle on the weekend, we're only 3 points behind Newcastle.
Yeah.
And Newcastle are not used to being in this position. So
Newcastle got a difficult run of games coming up. So, yeah, it's a possibility. It's a possibility.
I mean, if Arsenal beat Newcastle and we're 3 points behind Newcastle, I think Man United might be able to handle the pressure because they've been there before with Liverpool coming at them. But will the Newcastle players feel that pressure of actually trying to finish in the top 4 and knowing Liverpool are breathing down their neck, winning game after game after game? That's
different feeling.
That's the thing. And you say Newcastle fixtures are harder than United fixtures, I believe. So
yeah, they are. They are.
Yeah, so it's gonna be. Look, Liverpool just got to keep winning. We've only got most of our games left are home games, ain't they?
Yep.
So,
only game away, I think, is Leicester and Southampton.
Southampton's last game of the season when they'll be done. So that's
they'll be out. They'll be
And we could
relegated
relegate
at that point.
Leicester. That'd be lovely, wouldn't it? So, so yeah, it's going. That Leicester game actually could be the trickiest game.
Yeah.
Because I know we've got Villa at home, but I think we'll handle Villa at home. And obviously we've got Brentford at home. So, yeah, I just fancy us winning every game, but there you go. All right, guys, we're going to leave it there. I'm going, by the way, before we go, Gangan Dick says, Jamie, did you see what linked with, I can't pronounce it.
Inazio.
See, I thought it was Chow because of the last three letters.
Mm.
Chow, Inazio, for 45 million euros. What do you both think? Is he any good? I don't know much about him, man.
Him and Antonio Silva are the two centre backs are really coming out of Portugal that a lot of people highly rate. He's not as good as Silva in my opinion, but left-sided centre back, left-footed as well, decent on the ball, good stature. I think he's a solid player, man, and also he's young, so he will learn a lot. So I think if we get him for around about 35 to 45 million, I think it's a bargain, man. Honestly.
Yeah, I agree. If he's that good, let's just go through him. All right, let me just show you guys quickly before we end. I'll just quickly show you the Premier League table here. Let me just show you the Premier League table. Hopefully you can see it. Let me get this up. Right, because we're actually in the top half of it now, so I don't have to look for us. So there we are. So we're on 34 games played. If we beat Brentford, that'll take us, 61? It's 62, yeah? That'll take us to 62 points, be 3 points behind Newcastle. Newcastle got Arsenal on the weekend. United have got, would be a point behind Man United before Man United play West Ham. But Man United will have 2 games in hand by then. So, yeah, and look at our goal difference is better than Man United's as well. Look, United don't really score goals, 49 goals, but 40 conceded. That's what I'm saying. I don't think United are that good. I really don't think they're that good. Newcastle have got a better goal difference because they conceded far less. But, yeah, I think we just got to keep winning our games.
That's what we've got to do, man. We can't do anything else. It's only have to win. That's it. What other thing can we do?
Just current, but they have 2 games in hand. Do they? No, they've played 33. We've played 34. We're 6 points behind them right now, just current. But if we win on Saturday, we'll be 3 points behind because I don't think Newcastle play till Sunday. So we'll literally be 3 points behind Newcastle. Then they'll obviously have 2 games in hand. Then, yeah. But Newcastle are a team that got some hard fixtures coming up. That's what I'm saying. Just keep winning our games, and you never know. You never know. You know, some teams might fall over.
All we could do is just win our games and hope that someone does trip up.
Yeah. Because we'll be a point behind United, 3 points behind Newcastle. Yeah, they'll have 2 games in hand after us, but that game in hand goes straight away after the weekend because they play on the Sunday. So that game in hand will go straight away. And if they don't pick up 3 points in them games and it stays that point difference, you go, if you're a Newcastle Man United fan, you're going to be a little bit concerned because, you know Liverpool right there.
Pressure.
Yeah.
The pressure was definitely on at that point. And it's up to them whether they want to falter or they want to...
the maximum points we can get is 71. We're not making top 4 unless United lose 2 and draw 1 next 5 games. Yeah, that's what we're saying. But there's Newcastle as well, Jamrock. Newcastle have a harder run of games left. That's all we're saying. You know, if we do it, we do it. If we don't, we finish 5th. So be it. We finish where we deserve to finish at the end of the day, but it's not mathematically over yet. Till it's mathematically over, then we can stop talking about it. But yeah, the Brentford game, I think Brentford are nice and comfortable now. So I am going a nice 2-0 win tomorrow. Ram?
I hope we keep a clean sheet, honestly. And I think we will. I'm going to be a little bit confident here. I think we're going to keep a clean sheet. I will go for 2-0 as well. I think it will be a goal. I think Gakpo will score. But then it will be tough the next say 45 to 50 minutes, and then we'll end up scoring like a counter-attack goal. So yeah, I'll go with that.
Apparently, I was just looking on Twitter as well. Liverpool have been heavily linked just now to Lavia at Southampton.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Solid player. Really
Yeah.
solid player.
Only 18 as well, ain't he? Or something like that.
Mm.
So, yeah, he looks decent, man. So, yeah, Southampton going down, man. So,
They are.
Let's just do what Liverpool used to do. We gave them a lot of money before. They can just give us a few players, can't they?
Mm.
Right, guys. Big up to everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Do appreciate it, guys. I'll be back sometime tomorrow. I won't say enjoy the coronation because there's no point.
Enjoy your day out.
Enjoy your day
the
out,
bank
wherever you
holiday.
do. Enjoy your bank holiday weekend, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.